Visitors from across the country travel to one southern Minnesota town just to spend the night in jail. John Larston shows us why that's not the only unusual thing you'll find in Wykoff, a one-horse town.
We have 440 people, and at 5 o'clock you could shoot a cannon down Main Street and you won't hit anybody.
Quiet, quaint, and a little bit odd. Those are the words used to describe the town of Wykoff.
He basically was the guy in Wykoff, you know. He lived and died in this very place.
Ed Kruger ran the Jack Spratt grocery store for half a century. When he died at the age of 91, he willed everything he owned to the town, exactly as it was.
Every time I come in here, I see something new that I hadn't seen before.
Not knowing what to do, city leaders turned Ed's life and store into a museum.
Becky has volunteered to eat a candy bar that's been sitting here for 50 years.
I offered it to you.
It's not so much the eating it, although I'm sure it wouldn't taste real great at this point. It's what would happen to you afterwards.
Yeah.
In this town, preservation is paramount. Because a couple blocks away sits another iconic building that hasn't changed much.
Linda, you and I try and avoid jail. And in your town, people want to stay in jail.
They want to stay. Yes, that's right.
The Wykoff Jailhouse opened in 1913.
The marshals were paid $20 a month to take care of the jailhouse.
It served its purpose for 50 years. And when it closed, the city council thought about tearing it down. But in the early 90s, it was turned into a bed and breakfast. And then a few years ago, city clerk Becky Schmidt put it on Airbnb.
It just blew up. I mean, it went crazy. The very first year, we had rentals almost every single night.
The money generated from jailhouse stays helps the town pay for upkeep here and at Ed's museum.
I can see you got sheets, which are very fitting of a jailhouse.
We try and keep it all in the stripes.
Pretty much everything in the jail is original, though a bathroom and shower have been added. Guests who go on lockdown can stay in a tight cell that lawbreakers slept in a century ago.
Are you surprised people want to pay to spend the night in a cell like this?
I was in the beginning. Even people in town going, why? You know? Yeah. But I think it is just the experience.
Some guests really get into it, dressing up for their time behind bars and knowing full well that this is the opposite of luxury.
I tell them right online, you know, if you want Taj Mahal, this is not it. I mean, this is roughing it, and it is a jail.
Even so, visitors have come from across the country and as far away as Australia just to spend the night behind bars, a 110-year-old cell block that adds to the wonder of Wykoff.
It's just a friendly community. We have a couple of weird little entities to entertain you with.
Well, Becky, I mean, if they're looking for Taj Mahal and they end up there, that's their own fault. If you're interested in making the trip to Wykoff, Becky does say guests usually pay less than $100 a night for a stay in the jailhouse. And Sarah, we can't move on without talking about this story. I think it's just too fascinating. So I have to ask, would you spend a night in jail?
You know, we kind of discussed it a little bit, and we're thinking, you know, it's kind of that experience, as Becky said, and honestly, yes, I would, especially because it's not terribly expensive either. And
no, it's really not, and it goes towards a good cause.
Exactly, and you know, the only thing that kind of got me a little was the bathroom and the shower, right? But they said that was recently added, so I'm okay with that.
I could see that. I also think I would stay and definitely dress in like theme pajamas.
Oh yeah, just like the guests were doing, that was perfect.
You've got to. All right. Well, and for those wanting to escape the cold, maybe a night in jail is great.
Maybe.
Maybe. But hopefully if the weather's nice out, people can enjoy it.
Yeah.